and good evening to my build of the Dinky 259 fire engine, where I'll hopefully be taking it from this shabby example to something a bit more presentable, if you will. I'm also trying my hand at green screen, as you can see, and hopefully I'll have something a bit better at the end of the video. I was trying to find fire engine bell sounds, but I'm struggling. Anyway, here we go as every resto starts. Drilling out the rivets so you can gain access into the vehicle. And that's the rear one out. And we're going over onto the front one. Some rivets need centre popping and others don't. These were the types that had the dimple in, so they didn't need to be popped. But as we get inside, there's one inside without a dimple, and it was an absolute nightmare, but we'll be coming on to that any second. And there it is, the one holding the screen in, it had no dimple, so I had to resort to my centre punch, and it was a nightmare. I eventually, as you'll see in a wee while, ended up grinding it out because it just was not going to play the game. It was an absolute nightmare. Here I'm trying drilling first, and I tried with very little success. I tried from different angles, and there I just went into the plastic. Luckily it didn't crack. Or no more than it was already. There was already a cracking, so I'm trying centre punching it from the other side, so I can get the drill into the other side. It didn't work anyway. It was just an absolute nightmare. So eventually I just took it out of the vise and did it with the grindstone. But I was nothing if I weren't persistent with it and kept trying, but it was just a no-go. Try moving my camera so I can get in at another different angle, and all I'm doing is catching the plastic in the same area, so that was still a no-go. If you're restoring one of these, the screen is the hardest part on it up to now. As you can see, there's pillars missing, so I'm going to have to repair pillars on it. But here was the point where I resorted to the grindstone to quickly grind it. And here we go, just pop the plastic out now, and we're off. Here I'm taking the ladder off, because the ladder, it's a tin ladder on it, and the kid that had it decided he wanted to bend it all shapes and batter it, so it's had a hard life. So my first job on this was to straighten the ladders out. They're only tin, and I thought it'll be an easy job. Whatever. Unfortunately, my vise isn't the exact width, and I can't find a piece of steel or whatever the exact width, so I could beat it to shape over it. It's near enough, and I've started here, as you can see. Start using the edges of the vise. If it were just that little bit narrower, it'd have been a lot better. But I've got the type of hammer, it's a sort of cabinet maker's hammer, so you can beat in between it, but there I'm flattening the edges down. And here I've slotted it over the top of the vise, where I'll be trying to beat it down again, but to no avail. It's not a brilliant vise, and here we are. It's on the top of the vise and being beaten to shape and whatnot, and it's just tinning it into shape, really, tin bashing it. And here, once I got it to the rough shape, I've got a little silver water salt and polishing it up, and hopefully it'll come good, or as good as you can get it for the shape it was in. It wasn't just one little dent, it was horrendous, but I've ended up with a lot better object. It'll look a lot better on it. And here I'm starting drilling out the posts, ready for tapping them. Done the back one there, and here we're on to the front one. Start off at a bit of an angle, then tilt up and down into it. As it was cut off at a bit of an angle, there we are, just finishing it off. And take it around. Now put it in and get the tap out. Put a bit of oil in first, I should imagine. And when you're ready, matey, there we go, a bit of oil in. And there's the tap going in. And tapping down into it. I could do with new taps, as I've snapped most of them. And here we're putting in boiling water, and there's the caustic going in, and it's quite a mesmerising show as usual. Speed it up a little bit so you can see it in all its glory. And all the bubbles bubbling round, paint flicking round. It's like a bit of a whirling derby. And at this point it's turned into something that looks like a pint of John Smith's bitter. I doubt I'd be trying drinking it though, if I'm fully honest. I doubt it'd go down well. And still floating around the paint. This paint, it must have been an old type of paint, because rather than take it off in flakes, there's flakes milling around in it, but it went powdery as well, and it's left bits and pieces on, so I went around it with the wire wheel as well, and just got rid of the little flakes of paint that were left in it, and ready for putting on an undercoat on. But first off, before we do any undercoating, I had to repair the front window frames, which I did with some brass section and super glue and baking soda. I didn't chew it on because it were a pig to do. And there we are in primer. I've primed it up, ready for taking the paint. And looks quite pretty just in primer. And here we are. I've applied the red paint. And I'm putting Tamiya, I forget which number it is, but it's one of the silvers I'm using. On some stuff like this, the old dinkies, I avoid the Molotov pen because it's too harsh a chrome really. It looks better in just a normal silver. And at that point I've done the silver on it. It's looking pretty good. And at this point here I am, just giving it a dust over on the base with some car spray, silk black. So it should look better after that's done. And here I am, I've got the solid polish out again, the bulb. And I'm going to be polishing the windows. The window unit, get rid of most of the scratches. It's not an outstanding window unit, but it's not a bad one, so I'm reusing it rather than buying a new one. At least it leaves a little bit of the played with pattern on it somewhere. Which I quite like doing. I don't like fully getting them there. And there we have the finished article, which, as Marty says, it'll do for me. And here, I'm just starting to polish the wheels. They weren't polished originally. They was painted, and when I took the paint off, it was a matty coloured steel underneath. Well, not steel, that white. So I've decided to polish them up. I'm doing this with the aid of a felt buffer on my Dremel. I've put some silver water sol on, and as I'm doing it, I'm pushing into the wheel so it gives the profile in the felt. And there I've put some Autoglym trim polish on the tyres to freshen them up. There they're going on to the actual wheels that have been polished up, looking a lot nicer, looking newer. And here I'm just starting to strip the masking off the bell, get rid of the paint. And here I'm just putting the base back on. I've already put the ladder on and the windows. I lost that footage somehow. I think actually what happened, I didn't press play and I didn't catch it, but here I'm putting on the washer and the screw to screw the rear section of the base together. Just put it the fiddly tiny things, so I struggle with my dithers. And here I'm using my new tool I got off my friend Mike to screw together the halves. It's a pen with a mini screwdriver in it, which works exceedingly well. Before I was using a cheapo miniature flathead to put Phillips in. Now I've actually got a miniature Phillips, or posi drive, whatever you want to call it. Or mounts down to the same thing, crosshead, that's another name. God knows how many names there must be for it. And here I'm starting to put in the front one. I had a little hiccup here because I've drilled the hole a little bit large. On one side it dropped down and into it. It's enough to hold it together, if you know what I mean, if it goes in right, but if you got it on one edge it'll drop into it because of a drilling or the drill snatched. But with the drill snatching and it's not thick, it's only thin tin, it went through. But if it's in the right area, it holds it, and it's not noticeable once washer's on, so I can live with it. And here we have my blank modelling desk. We can view the scissors, what do you call it? Oh, there's an hand. Hey, what's going on? I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to be screwing the front end together. And here we go. Front end going back together. I just had to do it a little bit off camera because it did there's where screw was. But there we go. All back together and all pretty much done. Ready for the turntable. And I've done some more green screen at the end as well. I'm just starting to get used to it, so I'll probably be incorporating it in the future. I think I need a green screen sheet, so I'll have to get some material, I think, for a backdrop for filming green screen. And there I'm just polishing the finger marks off it from where I've assembled it. Well, there we go, resplendent in its lovely red cloth, new decals and looking well. Nino. Actually this one, it's that old, it had bells on it. The amount of hassle I've had trying to record bells and that, I thought I'll leave it off. I can do it on another old fire engine video, or I may do it yet. I may record some. And here we are on the turntable shot. I used the tub green Tamiya paint underneath it this time, so you can't see the Humbrol paint. I used it so you could just see the green lid and it works. Anyway, here we go. Side view. There's the turntable stalled. I might be needing more batteries for my turntable. And off we go again. But you can see the fire hose, the decal, the rear of it, the rear hose storage on the top, the ladder. The ladder's now straightened, looks a lot better. All in all, looking a lot nicer. And as she comes round this way, you can see the windows have been polished. As good as I'll get them. There's that little bit of crack on it with the playwear, but I can live with that. I like a little bit of patina left on them, so it shows it's not a new repro. Shows it's a restoration, but it has been played with in its lifetime. And here I've put on some photos, just so you can see it without the distracting background. And you can see the ladder, because it's a different angle. But there we are. All that remains to say is thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, please subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, thank you. And if you wish to have notifications, press the bell icon. Thank you and good night.